Guys, so we all love drugstore bargains, but one thing we love more are dupes. In today's video, I'll be using my face to show you some of the greatest dupes or duplicates on the market. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. So I'm going to begin by priming my lids. One side of my face is going to be drugstore and one side high end. I love how lightweight Stay Done Straight is, however I found NYX much easier to blend, but both primers hold really well. For the eyes, I'm using MAC and the Morphe Brushes Palette. I'm a huge MAC lover thanks to watching YouTube videos back in the day. However, I really think Morphe Brushes won here. The pigmentation is out of this world. I started by sweeping a mid-tone eyeshadow right into the crease of the eye and then packing on a bronze eyeshadow. I'm using bronze from MAC and a bronze eyeshadow from my Morphe Brushes palette and just packing this onto the lid. I sweeped a dark brown eyeshadow with purple undertones into the outer corner, and then for the liner I used MAC's gel liner and Maybelline Studio liner on the drugstore side and created a small wing. Then for mascara, these two formulas are so similar, even the brushes are identical. And then I finished with some lashes. I'm using the red cherry lashes and I'm using these on both eyes. Moving on to the face, to prime I'm using L'Oreal's Blur Cream and Benefits Professional. L'Oreal's formula is much heavier and harder to blend than the famous Professional, which is lightweight and feels like silk on the skin. However, the finished result is pretty much spot on, so well done L'Oreal. L'Oreal is one of my favorite drugstore brands on the market. For foundation, I'm using Benefits Hello Flawless and L'Oreal's True Match. Both formulas are similar, almost identical really. Both feel lightweight on the skin, dewy, fresh and blend beautifully. The only difference is that Hello Flawless has a higher SPF. For concealer, I'm using Fake Up from Benefit and the BB concealer from Physicians Formula. Both formulas are very creamy, very easy to blend, very lightweight as well. In fact, I actually prefer the Physicians formula because it's a lot more lightweight and dewy on the skin. Moving on to powder, I'm using the matching Hello Flawless powder and the Physicians Formula powder, which I'm obsessed with at the moment. One of my favorite powders I've used in a long time. Both formulas are very similar and give the same amount of coverage and lasting power. Next, moving on to one of my favorite duplicates that I found. It's the MAC's Give Me Sun and the Collection 2000 bronzer. They're the most perfect match I've come across in a long time. Both are a lovely matte warm brown. They blend beautifully, look great on pale skins. Very unusual bronzer, kind of hard to find. Doesn't look muddy or cakey and pretty long lasting as well. Moving on to blush, I'm using NYX Angel and Benefits Dandelion, and these are pretty much spot on, lovely baby pink. Moving on to highlight, I use MAC Soft and Gentle and the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips. These are very, very, very similar. Once they're on the skin, you'd barely notice the difference. Moving on to brows, I use Browsings from Benefit and I use a Catrice pencil. I applied them both using a brush so you couldn't tell the difference. And then moving back onto the eyes, I'm just applying a little bit of the mid-tone brown and the purpley brown I used earlier, and then applying a little bit of liner and some mascara again on my bottom lashes. Then moving on to the lips, I found the most perfect lip liner dupe, and that's MAC's Vino and Catrice's Very Berry. These are pretty much spot on the lips. I didn't show me applying it because I don't want to give away which side is which. So for the center of the lip, I applied a baby pink. For high end, I used Tarte Lucky, and for drugstore, I used Rimmel's pink blush. Also, if you had MAC's Lady Gaga's lipstick, this is also pretty much perfect match as well. Then for a little bit of gloss again in the center, I used NARS Turkish Delight and a sleek baby pink lip gloss, and bam, spot on. So I'm really, really happy with the finished look. Can you guys guess which side is high end and which side is drugstore? I'll be revealing which side is which over on my Instagram at Makeupbysaz1, so make sure you pop over there to check it out, and don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.